Grynch.
I told you, it was just a matter of time before he escaped. Oh, hello, friends, horror fans, lovers of the occult, and welcome back to Grynch After Midnight. In tonight's episode, we take a look at 10 little ones. 10 very short stories, nevertheless guaranteed to tingle the spine, to chill the bones, to leave you in unease. So without further ado, let's get into it. The museum. When she woke up, she found herself enclosed in a glass box just big enough for her to stand in. The box was in the center of a studio, with 20 or so odd spectators meandering around the room, just looking into the other various glass boxes containing other human beings. She cupped her hands against the glass and stuck her face against them and squinted to view the other human inside the glass box, not far from her own. She hung naked from a rope attached to the top of the box, clearly dead. She looked down and saw a small sign on the bottom of the box that read, "Death by lynching." "Such a magnificent art piece," she heard a spectator viewing the box say. She looked around the room at the other various glass boxes containing humans. One was overrun with rats gnawing flesh. One cadaver floated in the water, and one was hard to spot through all the gas that filled her box. The panic finally sank in. She began to bang on her glass box, but only one guest looked just to turn away, seemingly uninterested. She stopped banging when a spectator walked up to her box and stared at her the way a tourist stares at the Mona Lisa. The spectator looked down at the sign attached to her glass box, and she overheard him say, "Death by starvation." A few hours after I was buried alive, I was thrilled when I heard the sound of someone digging me out. My joy quickly faded when I realized the sound was coming from underneath me. Ah yes, I only shop at night. The cashier swipes my items across the scanner as I stare at the floor. I find it easiest to get through my anxiety by avoiding eye contact with other people. That's why I only go shopping at night. Fewer people to avoid. "Did you find everything okay?" she asks casually. I mumble to the floor. Her voice sounds nice, pleasant. Curiosity wins over, and I glance up. The cashier's head is completely caved in on the left side, blood streaming out her eye and ear on the right. Probably a car accident. I snap my gaze back down toward the floor and feel vomit at the back of my throat. After I pay, she gives back my change in a hand so mangled I'm surprised it can hold anything at all. Thanking her, I grab my bags and turn toward the exit. Immediately, I see a man looking through magazines at the storefront. The skin on his face and hands is the consistency of a hot dog that has fallen into a campfire. Burn victim. I turn the other way, and I see a woman with a purple bruise surrounding her neck, her eyes bugged out and bloodshot. Death by hanging. I rush out the door as fast as I can. In my car, I finally catch my breath as I lean my forehead on the steering wheel. Eventually, I look up and see my familiar reflection in the rearview mirror. My head is blown open in the back. Gunshot victim. Why did I ever wish for the power to see how people die? Congratulations isn't always the right word. As I got out of the car, my pulse quickened. My palms started sweating. Tears formed in my eyes. I just got back from the doctor. He confirmed it. Pregnant. And it wasn't my husband's. I walked to the door, hands shaking, fumbling for the keys. I let myself in. I heard whistling from the kitchen. As I walked in, I saw my daughter Carol, coloring at the dining room table, looking nervous. My husband, Peter, seemed to be washing dishes by hand. I watched as a plate was lifted, wiped, and put down. "Hey, sweetie," I heard Peter say, as another plate was set down. "How was your day?" "Carol, can you go upstairs, please?" I asked my daughter. She gave me a brief nod and bolted out of the room. "Is something wrong?" Peter asked, concern in his voice. When I was sure Carol was out of earshot, I turned to Peter's voice. "I'm pregnant." "But that's not possible," I heard Peter say, confused. "Wait, unless..." Those last words were spoken in anger, and I felt a hand close around my throat and slam me against the kitchen wall. "You slut! You cheated on me." "No," I cried. "I never cheated. I was always faithful to you." "Then how?" I could feel my feet lifting off the ground as I was forced up against the wall. "I fulfilled my vows, till death do us part," I cried. I felt a tremble, then heard a sob. I dropped to the ground, curling into a ball and crying. I heard one more sob, then nothing. I felt an emptiness around me. I think Peter finally moved on. Home alone. You are home alone, and you hear on the news about the profile of a murderer who is on the loose. You look out the sliding glass doors to your backyard, and you notice a man standing out in the snow. He fits the profile of the murderer exactly, and he is smiling at you. You gulp, picking up the phone to your right and dialing 911. You look back out the glass as you press the phone to your ear and notice he is much closer to you now. You then drop the phone in shock. There are no footprints in the snow. You're looking at his reflection. Turn around. Seed.
What a fun day in school today. We learned about little seeds and how when you plant them in the ground, they grow into something even bigger that's more special and change into something different. I told Mama all about it when I got home. I can't wait to tell her more, but she's a little worried right now. You see, she's busy looking for my baby brother Sam. But he's okay. He's small too, and I can't wait to show her what he changes into.
A girl heard her mom yell her name from downstairs. So she got up and started to head down. As she got to the stairs, her mom pulled her into her room and said, "I heard that too." The nice man in the van with a puppy and candy seemed so excited to give me a ride home. When I told him my little brother was there, alone, waiting for me, I'd feel bad about lying to him, but my family told me to bring home dinner, and those types of humans are so easy to catch. The trap. In Berlin, after World War II, money was short, supplies were tight, and it seemed like everyone was hungry. At that time, people were telling the tale of a young woman who saw a blind man picking his way through a crowd. The two started to talk. The man asked her for a favor. Could she deliver the letter to the address on the envelope? Well, it was on her way home, so she agreed. She started out to deliver the message, but she turned around to see if there was anything else the blind man needed. But she spotted him hurrying through the crowd without his smoked glasses or white cane. She was naturally suspicious, so she went to the police. When the police paid a visit to the address on the envelope, they made a gruesome discovery. 3 butchers had been harvesting human flesh and selling it to the starving people. And what was in the envelope the old man gave to the woman? A note saying simply, "This is the last one I am sending you today." Sleep did not come to me easily that night in the cabin in the woods, for the portraits on the wall only portrayed the deformed, the decrepit, and the damned. Sleep has never come easily to me ever again, for when I had awoken, I found no portraits, only windows. This has been Grinch After Midnight, and 10 little ones to tuck you in tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you stick around. And if you do, we'll see you next Friday night. Pleasant dreams, everyone.